you seen Star Wars?
This past Monday night on the Tatooine show, I dropped some exclusive information, so check out the show for the full conversation. But in that podcast, I did reveal that the upcoming season of The Mandalorian, which is Season 3, will be the final season of the series. And like I said in the show, this does not mean that the story that started with The Mandalorian will end with Season 3. If anything, it will be continued beyond Season 3 and go into other shows like Book of Boba, Ahsoka, and Rangers of the New Republic, and we all call this the Mandoverse. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying, well, wasn't Rangers of the New Republic canceled? And thankfully it was not. It's been reported that the series was not in active development, which is true because Jon Favreau has not even begun writing the series yet, and that information comes from two reliable reporters, Adam Fraser and Jason Ward. So it looks like Rangers of the New Republic doesn't even have the story laid out yet, which means we may not see this until 2023 at the earliest. Another thing Jason Ward added to the show on Monday in the comment section that lines up with the report that I had on Season 3 being the final season is that the lease for the Mandalorian's location that they've been filming for the entire series is about to end very soon. They filmed all 3 seasons of The Mandalorian there, as well as the Kenobi series and the Book of Boba. So since the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian are completely done, and they have been for some time, and they just finished Boba and Kenobi series, if Season 3 is truly the last season of The Mandalorian, it would make sense that they only rented the space where they're shooting all this stuff at for the amount of time that they would be filming all these shows, and they planned out ahead of time when The Mandalorian would end. Jason also sent me this picture of the Season 3 set, which shows us returning to the planet Navarro, which has been featured multiple times since the first episode. For me, the biggest question is what's happening in Season 3 that will give it a proper conclusion. A lot of people felt like Season 2 had such a finality to it. At the beginning of Season 2, it was pretty clear on what the goal was for Djarin, and that was to get Grogu to the Jedi so he can begin training. And now that we've accomplished that, the end of Season 2 did leave a story detail that we can likely follow in Season 3, and this is what we're likely going to follow this up with. Din now has the Darksaber, and there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. You're supposed to be the ruler of Mandalore, and now we've already heard that Season 3 is going to be a lot more focused of a season, so if all 8 episodes are about Din and the other Mandalorians taking back Mandalore, their home, from the Empire, and maybe even figuring out the future for the Mandalorians, what kind of mentality that they're going to have and the culture going forward, it would make a lot of sense that the series is going to end on that high note of a story and the ending of that story specifically. And I know it's a bummer if Season 3 is the last of the series. To me, that shows that Jon Favreau is valuing quality over quantity, and that's a very good sign in terms of writing. A lot of people have been pointing out to me that Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Moff Gideon, he did say that we would start getting the real answers about The Mandalorian in Seasons 3 and 4, seeming to mean that Mandalorian would run into a 4th season. And while I do believe that at the time that's what he meant, Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net also pointed out that this was before filming of the Book of Boba Fett, which has been considered by a lot of inside people to be Season 2.5 of The Mandalorian. It's going to fill some gaps in the story and the timeline between Seasons 2 and 3 of The Mandalorian. So maybe Giancarlo was thinking of Book of Boba as the 3rd season, and the next season of The Mandalorian would be Season 4. We won't really know what's true until Season 3 of The Mandalorian comes out, and right now it's just some food for thought, but I thought it would be interesting to cover on that, considering that we really don't know what's happening going forward with the Mandoverse. And I completely understand anyone who does not believe my report. I do not take that personally. After Mike Zero and Doomcock, and We Got This Covered as a website and all that stuff, this fandom has grown really tired of fake news. So I understand being cautious and maybe not trusting my track record. But when I was told about this information, I also instantly was in denial. I just can't fathom the idea of Lucasfilm ending the series so soon. I mean, it's so profitable. We just got rid of Grogu. I really feel like we have to see him reunite with Mando before the end of the series, and having one more season for that to happen seems unfathomable right now. It really doesn't make sense to me that they would bring Grogu in at the ending of Season 3, because he just left at the end of Season 2, so that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and I hope that doesn't happen. But if Season 3 is the ending of the series, I really don't know when Grogu and Djarin are going to reunite. But with Rangers of the New Republic, Book of Boba, and Ahsoka all seemingly tying into the story that started in The Mandalorian, it wouldn't surprise me if the series ended, but the story continued through those other shows. I hope Season 3 is not the end of Din Djarin, but with him reportedly appearing in the Book of Boba, it wouldn't surprise me to see him in multiple other series in the future, maybe even Rangers of the New Republic. Season 1 of The Mandalorian was amazing. I remember thinking, how can they do it better with Season 2. And they didn't miss a beat with that season either, and the finale gave me one of my favorite memories of watching Star Wars. Seeing Luke come back like that to take Grogu was a shock to all of us. This series has been nothing short of spectacular. So if they only do one more season of The Mandalorian, and it's just as good as the first two, then I think we will have the first Star Wars series that was as close to perfect as you can get, if not perfect. I trust Jon Favreau. I trust Dave Filoni. So these two working together to intertwine a broad story across multiple series is a welcome addition to the Star Wars universe. Thank you all for watching today's video. I will hopefully have some Kenobi series and Book of Boba Fett information in the coming month. I just need to reach out to some people, verify some things. But until then, my friends, please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Comment below if you think Season 3 will be the last of the Mandalorian series, or do you think we will get at least one more season? I'm Star Wars Only. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.